Did he really spend $2,000 a week on cocaine? The same Carl Eller who dominated the NFL trenches, shattered offensive lines, and built the Minnesota Vikings' feared Purple People Eaters defense? Yeah, that one. This man went from sacking quarterbacks to snorting away his future. It sounds wild, but it's true. And what's even crazier, no one really talks about it. Until now. Here's how it all went down. Born in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Carl Eller didn't grow up with luxury. He was a product of the Jim Crow South, navigating racism, poverty, and systemic barriers that would have crushed most people. But not Carl. He used his size and grit as fuel. At 6'6" and built like a freight train, he earned a scholarship to the University of Minnesota. And once he touched that college field, people knew he was different. He was relentless, explosive, smart. In 1964, the Minnesota Vikings drafted him in the first round. And just like that, the Purple People Eaters were born. Alongside Jim Marshall, Alan Page, and Gary Larson, Carl formed one of the most feared defensive lines in NFL history. He wasn't just a role player, he was the core. Offensive coordinators lost sleep over this man. Carl Eller would go on to rack up 130-plus sacks in his career. Sacks weren't even an official stat yet, but trust me, he terrorized QBs. He was a 6-time Pro Bowler, 5-time first-team All-Pro, and in 2004 inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But all that glory, it came at a cost. The hits, the pressure, the spotlight. Back in the 70s and 80s, the NFL wasn't what it is today. There were no mental health coaches, no trauma counselors, no social media therapy talk. If you were struggling, you sucked it up, or you escaped. And Carl, he escaped. At the height of his fame, Carl Eller was reportedly spending $2,000 a week on cocaine. $2,000. That's not weekend partying. That's a full-blown addiction. He didn't just dabble, he drowned. And it all came to a head when Carl checked into a chemical abuse treatment center. It shocked the league. Fans were stunned. This wasn't just any player. This was Carl Eller, a legend. But here's the thing, he didn't run, he owned it. That takes courage most people will never understand. After retirement, Carl struggled publicly. He had multiple arrests for DUI and assault. There were courtroom outbursts, mugshots, and even clashes with police that made headlines. People labeled him washed up, a has-been, a cautionary tale. But behind every headline was a man battling demons in silence. You see, addiction doesn't care if you're a Hall of Famer. It doesn't care if you've made millions or if you're broke. It doesn't care if you used to be someone's hero. It just eats. And for a while, it looked like Carl Eller might not make it out. But here's where the story flips. Carl didn't stay down. He sought help, again. He entered programs, faced the pain head-on, and started speaking publicly about addiction, recovery, and second chances. He even earned a degree in human services from Metropolitan State University. Carl turned his pain into purpose. He co-founded several organizations focused on helping former athletes transition out of pro sports, deal with substance abuse, and find peace beyond the game. He became a mentor. And in 2014, Carl Eller stood on the Super Bowl stage, not as a broken man, but as a symbol of what redemption really looks like. No sugarcoating, no excuses, just real work. Today, Carl Eller isn't just remembered for the sacks, the Pro Bowls, or the Super Bowl runs. He's remembered for the fight. On the field, yes, but more importantly, off it. Because when everything fell apart, he didn't stay broken. He rebuilt. Carl's story isn't just about football, it's about the cost of greatness, the pain of silence, and the beauty of second chances. And if you're watching this thinking you've messed up too bad to come back from it, Carl would probably say, you haven't. You're still in the fight. If this story moved you, even just a little, do me a favor. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop a comment below. What do you think about Carl Eller's story? Did you know about his struggles? Because the truth is, these athletes are human. And the more we tell these stories, the more we remind people, it's okay to not be okay. Thanks for watching. And remember, redemption is always possible. Catch you in the next one.